the Olympic-Wallowa Linement, you idiot.
In this area, you're most certainly definitely aware of the Cascadia subduction zone. And sure, it's a big old scary fault, but sometimes bigger isn't always better. Poor choice of words. Let's kick off our exploration of Owl out on the Olympic Peninsula. Owl makes its introduction to us right around Cape Flattery, follows that kind of northern part of the Olympic Peninsula, across Port Angeles, Swim, so on and so forth. Faults that I have marked here are a part of this story. To tell the story of this part of Owl is to tell the story of the birth of the Olympics. And that bouncing baby that once became the Olympics is known as the crescent basalt, or silencia. To use the word basalt along with its name implies that it's volcanic. It's one of the three big igneous rocks, those of course being rhyolite, andesite, and basalt. Roughly 55 to 60-ish million years ago, a rift on the ocean floor opened up and released an unholy amount of molten rock. We're talking about a massive rock that extends from Roseburg, Oregon to Vancouver Island, from the coast to the Cascades, and is roughly 5 miles thick. It is the basement rock for everything in Western Washington. But you have to erupt all of that material onto the surface, and through general plate tectonics, drag it to the coast of Washington. So what happens when a massive amount of rock that size reaches a subduction zone like what we have off the coast? Spoiler alert, it wasn't able to subduct. We don't have time to go into the mechanics of this process, but as that massive amount of basalt impacted the coast of Washington, the bottom end of it was drug out, while the top part of it started to kink back up. And as you can see, this wasn't quick. From 50 million years, it took until the present day to get the Olympics we see today. The Olympics we see today are only about 12 million years old. But it should be noted that the Olympics weren't just like going in a horizontal plane. They were moving in a northeasterly direction. You can imagine this motion as the Olympics uppercutting Vancouver Island. And this specific action causes a very unique little trick. Canada is made of a lot of dense, hard granitic rock. And when the Olympics came in, they punched up against that really hard rock that didn't want to move. Elsewhere down our coast, the Pacific plate is pushing northwards into the Juan de Fuca plate, which is still continually pushing the crescent basalt, or silencia, up into Canada. This is happening because the southwest part of America is kind of folding in and out like an accordion in a basin and range situation. Now generally, this motion is causing a very common group of faults that we're going to talk a lot about. Thrust faults. If you take your hands together and push them really hard until one slips, you've created a thrust fault. But our setting at the north part of the Olympics is a little different, because those faults I showed you were all strike slip. To simulate a basic strike slip fault, take your hands together and slide them past each other. Our three main faults, right here, here, and here, are all right lateral offset faults. The North Olympic Fault Zone contains three major faults: the Lake Creek Boundary Creek Fault, the Sadie Creek Fault, and the Wallowa Fault. We're going to get into this more in the next video, but the entirety of the Pacific Northwest is moving in a clockwise rotation, in part because of the situation that we have. And if we look right at the north part of the Olympics, we can see all of these GPS monitoring stations are showing motion to the right. And when we see our three faults here, we see that they've all shifted the land in a strike-slip fashion. I do have to mention that this torque is still happening. Cascadia sure is scary, but this area is capable of up to 7.5 magnitude quakes. So sleep well, Forks and Port Angeles. So to sum up what we talked about, think of the Olympics as a long, slow car crash to the right. As this part of the Olympics is being uniquely squeezed, it's a lot different next door. In our next video, we enter the Puget Sound Basin and the many surface faults that make up this unique story along Owl.